You're gonna come with me. Well. And just
Hello.
like that, goodbye. We're here. We finally... Same...
You're always this top track.
Okay. I thought I was the bottom.
You're not.
All right.
On this podcast,
I might be...
you're a top. You might be a bottom IRL, but in this pod, in this space,
I'm a top.
you're a top. You're like Anthony.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe we're here.
I know.
We've arrived at the seminal season 2 finale of And Just Like That.
It feels important that we are recapping the finale of season 2 of And Just Like That on 9/11.
It feels... I had the same thought. It feels extremely New York.
It's inspired.
We're transported right now to the island of Manhattan. We're potting from Nolita.
You know what? Someone needs to feel like they're in New York, because that show does not.
Yeah, I feel more New York here in LA than that show ever feels watching.
Mm-hmm.
So we are recording this on 9/11. It's been 22 years.
Happy 9/11 to those who celebrate.
To those grieving, we wish you healing. To those who are just living,
vibing. It's just another day to vibe.
Just another day to vibe.
Speaking of planes, we got a really good plane fodder, timing fodder this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, should we talk about the plane man leaving his wife at the airport, or should we talk about Barack Obama sucking and fucking?
Oh, well,
your choice.
You know what? Let's do Barack.
Okay. That feels also, both are good timing, but given the gay discourse that takes place over the course of the finale of Just Like That,
fitting.
I think it's fitting to discuss the allegations.
Some loon went on. Tucker Carlson has like a new show, I guess, on YouTube or Twitter.
Seems like his show's on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
I like that you're off. Tucker is on.
Off. I am literally like, I have no...
You're fighting for your goddamn life on Threads.
I'm on Threads. You know what though? I'm like...
Are you getting a lot of Threads action?
No. I fully adjusted though. Like I feel like I fully am untethered and it feels good.
Good.
But I do miss finding out shit like this.
I know.
This loon, that's the only way you can describe him, who's like clearly some like former tweaker gay who's in his 60s.
Where did they
find this guy? I don't know. I think he's been peddling this story for a while. I think there were a few years ago he came out with like this allegation. So he's like really been banging this drum for years that he
inspiring, honestly.
Smoked crack and fucked.
Smoked crack and got his dick sucked
by
Barack Obama.
Barack's dick?
Let's find out.
I think
Caroline, can you look up who?
we have a
first order of business.
Can you look up who sucked who?
Yeah, for Barack.
Crackhead sucked who? So this man claims that he was in town, I believe in like. Was it like?
I like that we know no facts. Basically, no. Tucker. The clip that I saw is Tucker was like, so you were in town one night and you wanted to party.
I think it was like some southern, like Atlanta or like Orlando or some weird.
They smoked crack together and then he gave Obama sex.
Yeah.
Full sex or just head?
Oral sex.
Okay, show me literally two men that have done coke together and have not done something weird sexually afterwards. That's like par for the course.
He's a convicted con man.
Yeah, he's been convicted
Fraudster
multiple
Larry Sinclair.
times.
So this guy's a fucking piece of shit, but he is a gay con man, which is great. And in Chicago, he did cocaine while Obama smoked crack, and he performed oral sex allegedly on the former president in Chicago in 1999.
That is fun. That's also pre 9/11, so it doesn't count.
No.
And also, if you're doing, why as a man are you doing cocaine in the first place? Like, fellas, is it gay to do cocaine? The answer's always been yes.
Cocaine is very gay.
Cocaine and crack are some of the gayest drugs that exist.
The only thing gayer than crack and cocaine is meth.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Sinclair claimed he met Obama through a limousine driver who knew the then Illinois representative. So this was back when he was like just like
a senator.
No, I think it was pre-senator. He was just like a city
Man.
becoming like big in Chicago. But
on the way up, you're gonna smoke crack and
get your
have
dick sucked
people
by
suck your dick every once in a while. It just is a thing that happens.
every man in his life will smoke crack and get their dick sucked by a con man. Named Larry.
I honestly don't even want to know any men who haven't had that happen to them.
Every man should have a homosexual experience.
Totally. Just to see.
Or just like to like keep themselves open. Obama, and there was that other story about a girlfriend who...
Oh yeah, he wrote letters and he said, I make love to men every night. I'm like, good,
cool.
You're doing what needs to be done.
In his head.
I know. Like, also,
tell me
fellas,
that hasn't had...
If you want to keep a girl interested, I would say it's in your best interest to send her a message of some sort telling her that you make love to men in your head every night.
This man though has a self-published book called Barack Obama and Larry Sinclair: Cocaine, Sex, Lies, and Murder? ? This is a man that has no teeth. He's missing all of his...
When did he publish his book?
2009.
Okay.
This guy he's missing his front teeth. Like, this is a true like Flannery O'Connor snake oil salesman, like good country people.
A Southern Gothic gay.
A Southern Gothic crackhead gay who's just like trying to, the Republicans are like, this is so salacious. They're so obsessed. They just cannot get over that Obama was president, and they are still clutching their pearls over gay sex. But it's really like, it's so, I hope that he's a little gay.
I just am very inspired by like having one story to peddle for your whole life.
Yeah.
And for years and years and years, peddling the same story.
Yeah.
And eventually your Hollywood dreams will come true, and someone will call you and say, okay, we're going to give you money now to tell this story on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Larry's just living the Hollywood dream.
He said to Tucker, my feeling is that Barack Obama is definitely bi. There is a lot of transactional qualities to him. So all bi people are transactional.
This is me on regarding any man that anyone shows me that they're interested in.
My feeling is that he's bi.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of transactional qualities to him.
I think whatever he does is looking for a hook, looking for a benefit. Well, isn't that
I'm
everyone?
like, welcome to Tinseltown, bud.
Also, welcome to DC. Welcome to the swamp. That's what everyone is talking. Like, tell me a politician who's not just looking
welcome
for a
to
benefit.
America.
That's just the American
way. That's the name
way.
of the game.
Obama, he might have done this. I don't believe the story at all. But, like, I hope that there is some truth to, like, that he had some man-on-man love.
This is all because of the chef dying.
This is just, like, they don't want to talk about Trump's indictment. So they'll talk about their two favorite topics, which is Obama and Hillary, and they'll just like peddle like Hillary. I'm more likely to believe is like nefarious and evil, but like Barack Obama is just like living in Martha's Vineyard and like hanging with like Bruce Springsteen.
I know, but maybe that's what they want you to think.
Well, you know what? Show me a politician who hasn't murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Truly, if you want to be the president of the United States, you're a psychopath. So you're have to be okay with things happening. That's just the American way. So I accept Obama for who he is and who he's possibly allegedly gotten his dick sucked and smoked crack with.
It sounds fun.
It sounds really fun. And also the Obama, I'm like so into that everyone in the family smokes. His daughters both smoke cigs.
I wish that we could get a photo of like young Larry, because I would like to picture the hookup happening, and I can't with like old Larry. That doesn't do it for me. I want to have men make love in my mind. Not
Larry Sinclair with no teeth.
No, I'm talking young Larry.
Oh.
Also, like the
Obama
version
now.
of him. Obama's hot, has always been, but I'm talking like I want to see what Larry looked like when he was hot enough to like suck and fuck.
But if you're doing crack, you're probably like, I don't really care.
True. A hole's a hole.
But now these girls that do those like horrific like Trump video like music.
I don't know them.
Oh, you see, they're like They were around. They were big during like the Trump years.
They love a self-funded music video enterprise.
But this guy will be speaking at the Republican National Convention next year. Like they will be.
We can only hope.
I mean, this guy, they're going to be peddling him.
Say what you will, but Republicans know how to give him the old razzle dazzle and put on a show.
I do think in general, Republicans are better at giving camp than
comedy.
Democrats. I think Democrats are too earnest and cringy, and it's like they're playing like U2's Beautiful Day while Republicans are doing like weekly world news, and it's more entertaining.
Absolutely.
So they need to. I think Democrats could invest with like bringing in more like gay crackheads.
They need a writer's room. The writer's strike needs to end so the Dems can get together and hire some funny people to like rehab their image so that they can hopefully serve cunt.
They won't.
But they won't.
They never will. I mean, I lost all hope during the Zoom Democratic convention when Eva Longoria introduced Billy Porter, who sang "There's Something Happening Here" with a Zoom background. I was like, we are fucked. I was like, we are fucked.
I like that you engaged with a Zoom convention.
It was a dark time.
Really, that's like
it was a hard,
the lowest low. Obama's lowest smoking crack with Larry and letting him suck him off, and your lowest low
is watching Billy Porter.
Is watching Billy Porter in the Zoom Democratic convention.
And then I got into a fight.
It's not your Slim Jim Toggles era. It's actually like it doesn't get much lower than watching the DNC on Zoom.
And then fighting with Pete.
And like saying something sassy to Mayor Pete on Twitter.
Saying something sassy to his campaign strategist who came for me.
Carrie.
She came for me first.
True prayers.
She came for me and said,
"Doll."
I was making fun of the Zoom convention, and she goes, "Well, no shit. What do you think it was going to be? We're in a pandemic. Like this is reaching millions of more people. Like you're being an elitist." And I was like, "You're right." Ms. Liz. Anyway.
Yesteryear. Anyways, yeah, I hope that it happened.
Yeah. Also, it's like that's so like cool. Like
that is cool.
Chicago in the 90s, like smoking crack and like sucking dick.
That is never not going to be cool to me when someone has a story like the Hunter Biden stuff. Like if they should focus more on like any sort of like Ukraine, like Burisma corruption, that hits a point in me where I'm like, that's not fair. But anytime I see a picture of him driving like 120 miles an hour with a crack pipe in his mouth, I'm like, this is the coolest man that's ever lived.
I know the Democrats or the Republicans need to understand that like
drugs are cool.
No, but like, yeah, they're like, they think that exposing Hunter Biden for being a drug addict is going to like
alienate
us.
People.
No, it endears us.
I'm like, I love this fucking
Me
guy.
Too. Stop making him cooler by showing like they're doing him work. They're doing him work. They're doing him work. They're doing him a favor, and they're adding more popularity by just continuing to talk about Hunter Biden's crack addiction.
Yeah,
who hasn't smoked crack?
Honestly, me, and I would.
I think I did. Yeah.
I would just once, just to try. I think it's important. Anyways, moving on to... Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's just get into it because there's a lot to talk about. Okay. So I'm Carrie.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique Podcast.
They did that. They really thought they did that in this finale.
They did that in the first minute, which was good.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have to wait till like the very end. But no, they really just, they put it all right out there.
Let's get the shit out of the way.
Let's get the shit out of the way. So Carrie is pacing around her apartment while it's getting done up for her Last Supper dinner that she's hosting with a Michelin star chef that she
Michelin shard
that she won at a raffle for a school that she doesn't have kids that go to.
Unclear. But you know what? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Wait, also her having a cat is legit insane.
That's her cat in real life.
I'll bet it is.
She adopted it.
I'll bet she did.
She's like I think she's a total cat lady.
She is.
Yeah.
I love that. Being like, any line between character and human person completely gone, and now it's just the Sarah Jessica Parker show, which I guess it always was, but now it truly is.
So she's surveying the scene and she gets a phone call. Brrr, hello.
Goodbye.
She gets a call and it's Samantha. She's in a car traveling from Heathrow back to her flat in London. And they have a green screen in the background. She's like in a fake moving car and you just see the scenes of London. She goes,
there was like
Carrie?
a biker in the background.
She goes, honey, it's me. I was supposed to get on a plane, but they canceled my flight. So I'm heading out of there now. And she goes, what do you mean you were coming on a flight?
They canceled my flight because I fucking hate you. And I'm never going to get on the plane anyways.
So according to Samantha, she was going to surprise Carrie by making a cameo at the Last Supper and literally traveling from London to New York for 10 hours and then flying back.
A true friend.
She goes, I was coming for the Last Supper at your apartment, the one we used to hang in. She goes, Charlotte and Miranda told me all about it.
I simply couldn't miss the opportunity to pay my respects. So please put your phone on speaker right now and let me say a little something.
I have some moments I need to talk. So her flight from Heathrow was canceled due to London fog.
Mm-hmm. Classically London.
And she goes, well, the fog is lifted, but the flight crews are maxed out. Oh, I'm fucking furious. And I was like, okay, that's Samantha. Her saying I'm fucking furious.
Mm-hmm.
And then then Carrie's like, oh, honey, you were going to do that for me? And she goes, well, yes. Put the phone on speaker.
And so Carrie puts the phone on speaker and she goes, thank you for everything, you fabulous, fabulous flat.
You fucking fabulous, fabulous flat.
That was very hello, goodbye.
And Carrie goes, did you just say flat? Do you have a British accent now, Samantha? And Samantha goes, who's Samantha? I'm Annabelle Bronstein from India. Which I'm glad they kept that in.
Yeah.
But
a little callback for the real heads.
And she goes, toodaloo. Literally.
Hello.
She says, good to cheerio to you, and hangs up.
Goodbye. I like that she was like, I won't be coming in for your husband's funeral.
No.
I shan't. I'll send you a gorgeous floral arrangement, but I will come in for 10 hours for a dinner of 16 with a bunch of strangers. Imagine Samantha there and she would walk in and go, honey, who the fuck are these people?
I know. That would have been amazing.
If she was like, what the fuck are they doing here?
Can you imagine Samantha and Che?
No.
Samantha would immediately
Lizette, she would dismiss. Samantha would have made
chaos.
Everyone. It would have been good. She could have called the herd.
Honey, who the fuck are all these people?
Who the fuck are you? She's like, get the fuck out of here.
She would have been like, it's the four of us or I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie
she would have dismissed everyone. LTW and Seema would have been able to stay. You guys are fabulous.
Ooh.
No, they're fabulous. And they'd be
goes,
good
Seema.
Contacts for Samantha to know.
I like this Seema person. And
Nya would have
LTW?
been offended. She would have thrown her napkin down and stormed out.
Wait, I started watching the morning show because I know it's back. And I watched 2 episodes. I'll never watch it again.
That show,
Nya Wallace is in it.
Good for
Karen
her.
Gitman.
Okay, good for her.
She was also in Yellowstone.
She was in Yellowstone.
She's the one that takes on Beth. And she goes, I love this part. She talks to her on the phone and Beth just fucked her over and she goes, you little bitch. And she goes, I'm coming for you, you little bitch. Nya Wallace.
I have chills.
Queen of Yellowstone.
Okay, I am really glad to hear that she stays booked.
Oh,
booked on the show. She is the actress.
She
is the actress of the century.
No, she is literally.
She's on every show.
She's the most famous person in the world. Nya Wallace is.
Okay, word.
Arguably,
honestly, I know nothing because I'm literally sitting here being like, this woman's like unhinged. Like,
no, she is cable TV's like go-to girly. She is
good
raking
for her.
in the dough.
Good for
Not
her.
Not now, but like when
this strike gets over, it's over for you hoes.
Yeah.
Because Miss Nya Wallace is coming to town, soon to be seen on a show you're watching. Harry.
Karen Pittman. She is fucking amazing.
Someone commented on our Patreon that the morning show is like a spiritual sister that exists in the same universe, and it totally does.
I had that same thought. It's like overly woke. It's
shiny and green screen AI vibes.
Very AI. Like what is this New York? I've never seen this. Jennifer Aniston's apartment is very Che Diaz, like with the computerized skyline in the background. And they just like, they say things and I'm like, this person would not say this. This is AI.
I tried to watch like the first couple episodes when it came out because I was very excited. I wanted like the two girlies fighting it out on a morning show. And then I was like, this makes me feel uncomfortable and I simply cannot go on. I said, hello.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Reese's
and then never
name is
returned.
Bradley.
I know.
The fuck?
It's a strange world. The only way I would watch and just like that is if I had previously watched Sex and the City, but I can't imagine coming in with like new fresh eyes and being like, let me sit down and check out this show.
Nya Wallace, her twin, is the character that Karen Pittman plays in Morning Show.
Her sister that we never,
Reese's
her sister
producer.
that she's run away from, that she hasn't spoken to in years since old Chablis came into her life, is like hard at work producing the morning show. She's like,
true.
God damn it, I really miss my sister. I haven't heard from her in decades since she was kidnapped by a bunch of white women. And Carrie Bradshaw. We need a morning show and just like that crossover where Carrie Bradshaw is interviewed by Bradley and Jen.
Mm-hmm. And they're like, they put her on the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that. And then Samantha hangs up and she presses her phone to her chest. She's wearing high bangs and a very Patricia Field outfit. And
honestly, I was really into their chemistry here. Someone tried to razz me for being like they had incredible chemistry for being in separate rooms. Just a commenter, but I stand by that statement. Their chemistry
is undeniable. Even
crossed over. It's interdimensional.
Yeah, and
I simply need them back. They're the duo of the century.
They need to be together. They need to put aside their differences. I have faith now more than ever that
I think she can be lured back.
I really think it could happen.
Where there's a will, aka a check, there's a way.
And I had faith the whole time that this was going to happen.
You did.
So I believe that Kim. Let's be real. She probably wants like another ranch in Canada, and like hasn't worked in a minute. Well, no, she's always working.
She's always working. Just
not on.
Well, she was on a Netflix show that people were like,
Glamorous?
"Oh, she's basically Samantha Jones."
Yeah,
on the
and she
show.
was good in Queer as Folk.
That's charitable of you. But.
So Charlotte tells Harry to help her out while she gets her shit together again. While being a working woman. She's getting into the groove. She's like, I just need you to step your pussy up at home.
Yeah.
And help me the fuck out.
Harry's like, Anthony's here to discuss losing his ass virginity to his boyfriend. And Charlotte's like, tell him to get the fuck out of here.
Hungover.
Also, you're annoying as hell. You've done the bare minimum. You've put together 3 breakfasts and like taken the girls to school once. And you think you're like father of the year. Get the fucking grip.
And she's like, no, get out of my room. I did coke last night and I'm like super strung out.
Yeah. And get
like,
me
fine.
a sandwich. And he's like, fine. He's such a flop.
He is a flop. But this is, again, that's not who Harry is. Harry was like he was like a prince.
I know.
He was a great guy.
I don't understand this thin Harry.
The Harry that of yesteryear would have been like, honey, I'll like send you out with a lunch pail every day. Like, you're a working girl. Like, you're a girl bot. Like, he would be so supportive of her.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he got more conservative as he aged.
I guess everyone does.
Steve speaking Spanish to his contractor.
Oh, I know.
I was like, put this man in the insane asylum now.
I know.
Were they always?
I think he says like, I don't like, I'm English.
He says, you can speak English, Steve. But I was like, this seems like it's not like you just had this person come today. It seems like it's been like a long running thing.
Yeah. This is a joke that we're supposed to be like, oh, this is a joke they have.
This is a classic Steve.
Old Chablis arrives in Coney Island on a cloudy day.
Imagine that contractor, like the wind kind of blows like a dark breeze and he goes, oh no. And like runs away. He's like, La Llorona. When an old Chablis blows into town, it's a true curse on you and your homestead.
So Miranda comes and she's like, your bar looks great, Hubble.
She's
goes,
like,
he goes, Miranda, you made it finally to Old Scouts.
she goes, I'm glad for you. This place looks great. And he goes, I've been on the cyclone all year. It's like I've never got off the cyclone. Maybe I fell off and my head smashed like a watermelon. I was like, what is this man talking about?
He goes,
lock him up. He needs to be put away.
She goes, we weren't right for each other. And he goes,
yeah, but I don't regret any time we spent together.
and she goes, me neither. And she goes, how about a hot dog and clam? And she goes, and by clam, I mean, why don't you lick my clam one last time? Take me out back. And then all of a sudden he's like,
oh, let's go have some beers.
and then all of a sudden Brady shows up.
Yeah, Brady. And he's like, I'm obsessed with whoever wrote that. It was like, you know what? And then
right as if in a
right
city,
when they
yeah,
hug and they decide to be friends, classically
in New
Brady,
York, this
Brady
happens all the
shows up
time in a city of 12 million people.
and goes, we were listening to each on our own to the Bret Easton Ellis podcast. What? Did I blow up your spot?
No, I'm just laughing at what he said about the show.
His read on And Just Like That was so spot on. And I was
damn,
like,
nothing we've said has been any as good as what he is.
No, but he hit the nail on the damn head.
He did say, he said the most compelling thing about the show is just how good Sarah Jessica Parker is.
Yeah.
Just what a natural star she is. And it's just truly her show. He goes, and
she knows it now. It's
No,
just
I
an
know.
SJP show. She's like, I want my cat.
he was just like, and that is true. Like, she's just has megawatt charisma.
She's a star.
But he said, and you're rooting for her more than you're rooting for the hideous Miranda. I was like, okay, that was mean.
What? Miranda is acting hideous. Miranda
I think
is.
he meant more as like her person.
Well, her vibe is pretty hideous
Cynthia's
too.
gorge.
Miranda's a terrorist.
She is.
She's La Llorona.
She is
La
like,
Bruja.
she is like stigmata.
She's a bit cursed.
She's like
she's
receiving,
cursed.
she's receiving stigmata.
Yeah, she's going through stuff. But he was basically like, this show is, I can't tear my eyes away from it, but I also hate it. But it also is like, what's fascinating is it really thinks it's doing something. And that is, it's a bit of an emerging genre in this like age of television. Like, we've gotten to the point where shows that really think they're doing something. There's so many shows now that they're like
The
we
morning show.
really did that. I can think of several others, but anyways, that's a must listen.
Karen Pittman gets into the American Law Institute.
I love this scene.
They're like, hey, we're just gonna induct you. You're like in the top 5 lawyers in the world.
Okay.
She's like, great.
I'm like, I have no stake in this character. Every time I
don't
see
care
them, I wish that I was watching one of the actual characters
I
of
was
the
like,
show.
I was like, love that for her, but like, don't.
But
I
like,
don't give a
who
shit.
is who are these people? Like, I truly do not care and could not care less.
Yeah. She's like, hey, this is cool. I've got like an interloper living in my place that will not leave. A
She's like,
divorcee queer woman.
Help me get her out. She
With-
could be listening right now.
La Llorona is living in my apartment, and her creepy son, who's like going to make a nail bomb and send it to like
Blow up Columbia.
yeah.
But our lives are at risk. Nya goes home to old Chablis practicing squatters' rights in her living room. And she's like, damn, I made this great law thing happen, but I'm sad because I can't share it with Andre Rashad and my life is meaningless without a man. And Chablis like, well, you better come to the dinner tonight or else.
Yeah, Chablis goes, that's awesome. You got into the American Law Institute. I'm like, oh yeah, remember when you were a fucking successful attorney?
She's on her way. Show
Yeah, I
her a
guess she
shred of
is.
grace. She's on her way once
She is.
again.
She's about
By
to
the
serve-
end of this episode, things are
She's
looking
serving cut
up.
at the UN.
I know, and she needed that.
She did. I hope.
I love that it took like what 20 episodes to get Chablis' act together.
Chablis might not ever
fully bounce back.
Cynthia Nixon might never be governor.
But Chablis will always be on BBC.
But maybe she's like, I might not be able to do it in real life because people hate women, but in Sex and the City, I'm going to be the top president of the UN.
I love that. The show's just become a vehicle for these women to just like live out their fantasy. Like for SJP, it's like, I don't want to feel any different from when I wake up and like go about my day. So this show and my life are going to merge into one thing.
It's very Kim saying, I don't want to spend even a minute doing something that I'm not enjoying.
And Kim is like, okay, you have to pay me a legit like $5 million to say hello, goodbye in a green screen car with no contact with anyone from the show.
Top bangs.
Miranda's like, Chablis is like, okay, well, I didn't make governor, but I really want to like
make my mocks for governor.
Make my mocks for governor. But guess what? I want to be a big old lesbian and I want to be the star of the BBC. And they're like, okay. And then now we got to figure out. I feel like Kristen Davis is the only one like not getting service.
I think she's gonna like put up her own gallery.
Okay, but I would love for her like to maybe she should take this opportunity to like work some of her own life dreams into the show.
I want her to like become like the queen of Art Basel and like slay the art gallery.
She should develop a bit of a problem. Just a little.
Yeah.
She could do it once.
Yeah. Like one episode, she's like, oh my God, I'm on coke.
I think it would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like the character of Kristen Davis or Charlotte is for, is to put her in those
humiliating.
Like she's a bit Shoshana. You know what I mean?
She is. But then, yeah. So they arrive at the Last Supper. And I was just like watching Carrie, the way Charlotte, Miranda, and Carrie greet each other. I'm like, oh, they're like not friends anymore.
Well, no,
they're strangers.
Did you see the seating chart?
Yeah, like
Che was at the head of the table next to her.
Yeah, like why didn't
Che's been moved up in the world? Che is the new Miranda in Carrie's life.
I'm just like, when did these people become strangers? This trio of inseparable ladies that have been Franz for 30 years.
It's bizarre.
But
it's not right.
The former host of X, Y, and Me is at the head of the table.
Once again, we got a scene that truly felt like, why?
I gotta be honest, these are the rest of my notes.
Damn it. Mine crap out pretty soon.
Well, I've been extra studious with my notes, but this episode I was just kind of like, what is happening?
Well, I was watching the first I tried to watch this episode 3 times. The first time I fell asleep like 15 minutes in. The second time I watched it just like mouth agape at what was happening. And then this third time as I was skimming and writing notes, I got busy. But
you went
having a whole day. Having a whole
day.
I
have like loose notes. So Che arrives with their hands in their pockets.
We had a full Che Lizette scene that I was like, who
Oh yeah, Lizette
literally
is there. Why cares? Why is she there?
Lizette goes, hey, what's that spot on the ceiling? And Carrie goes, I don't know. It's your spot now. Why is this girl here?
I kind of liked Carrie saying like, I don't know, bitch. You take care of it.
Yeah.
I just gave you my apartment for free. So you shut the fuck up and you take care of that water damage is your damage. No. But why is Lizette? She doesn't deserve a seat at the table.
She doesn't. What?
I'm
These
sorry.
two people interfacing.
Who is this person?
No, who are both? Because they go. Lizette goes.
Both?
I just have to say, I'm Lizette. Big fan.
I was like, oh no, are they gonna fuck?
Probably. Che gets all horny and lit up, and Lizette goes, "Is there any new big comedy thing I should be looking out for right now?" As though that's how you talk to like comedians.
She goes, I'm a huge fan of X, Y, and Me. I was like, what? What?
The one fan.
This is a 47-year-old like Gen X person. Like, who is...
Lizette listened for Carrie. Remember when Carrie bankrupted an entire podcast
that's some
studio?
Follow through.
Yeah. But remember when Carrie's celebrating a great year, having put like hundreds of people out of work. I
know. Carrie, and then the writer's strike happens.
Carrie bankrupted
An entire
An
generation.
entire podcast studio went under because Carrie said, I don't really feel like doing an ad on my like Sirius XM show.
Yeah, that I'm getting paid like $20,000 to do.
Mm-hmm. But Lizette and Che have a full-blown tete-a-tete where I was like, why? Who care? Who is watching the show being like, God, I'm so invested in these two, and like they have a lot to learn from each other.
Like they have like a full like play, like non-musical play.
This
like,
is
they have
Chekhov.
They go. Their interaction is the movie in the bedroom with Sissy and Tom Hiddleston.
Lizette goes, any big new comedy things I should be on the lookout for? And Che goes, I'm transitioning. The old me is dead and the new me hasn't arrived yet. And Lizette goes, you're in your cocoon phase. And Che goes, guess you could say that. And Lizette goes, it's like me when I first moved. I was literally like,
you
what?
when you first
who or what? Who are these people? And Lizette goes, so I made myself this ring. It's a butterfly ring. I'm hella literal. I was like, someone take me out back and put a fucking bullet between my eyes. I cannot watch these two anymore.
Jay goes, I'm arriving in a new plane. I went like this.
Good night.
So then Che sees Miranda at the sink. And
Back in their old stomping grounds.
They are.
They are.
Oh my
it's
God, I
a
didn't
sexually
even
charged
realize
space
that.
for them. Che once again, taking some shots at the bar.
Oh my God, I didn't even put that together.
Oh, that was where I'm haunted by Carrie's kitchen will always now be the place where Miranda got finger fucked and made
not just
walrus.
She got pussy fisted.
Walrus seal noises. It was truly.
She got fully like elbow deep in Miranda or Che got fully elbow deep in Miranda at the sink while Carrie pissed in a bucket.
Well, okay, so Randy and Nya walk in and are greeted by Chef T.
Who's Randy?
Miranda.
Oh, Randy. Mimi.
Randy. And Nya goes again into unhinged mode. I was like, can you keep it together? The chef is like, she's like, aren't you familiar? And he's like, yeah, I was the guy at the bar. And
I own Bar T.
I was like, this is convenient. Everyone again in this New York, always they'll come back into each other's lives in one way, shape, or form.
He goes, I'm a Michelin star chef and I'm the owner of Bar T.
And Nya goes, that's your bar. And then she goes, you can go now, to Miranda. And she goes, get out of here. I'm like, you're still in front of this man. Nya, what I do like about her, she loses it in front of a man. She cannot keep her shit together for a second if a man comes to town.
I admire that.
And I kind of do like that as a character trope.
And I admire someone just being like, get out of here to their cock blocking friend.
Run.
Get out. That's awesome. That's a true friend. And Miranda goes, okay. And then she scuttles over to the kitchen and goes, where we going in?
I do.
Where in the kitchen we go?
I must talk to Shay. And so she goes up to Shay. And I was like, okay, dude, this felt very Miranda, where she's like, we can't ruin Carrie's thing. And I was like, finally a glimpse of the old Randy. But then Chablis back and does like a crying scene with Shay. She's like, we were like a good train wreck, right? The kind where you like realize you got to the station that you needed to get to. And she's like, I'll never do those jokes again. And they squash their beat and like never do comedy again.
Please don't do comedy again. This should be a
stop.
sign. Your comedy devastates people, but not enough, because Lizette is like
I'm telling you,
cool.
Everywhere Che goes, a huge fan pops out of the woodwork. Her fandom is stronger than like Gaga's fandom.
I know. Che's fan base is extremely Little Monster.
Mm-hmm.
As a Little Monster, I'm saying this.
Yeah, same.
Kindness kill. What is it? What does she call it? Kindness punks.
Sebastian decides to play some mind games with Anthony, and he says in front of everyone that he's moving back to Rome.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is a power move I can respect.
Mm-hmm.
Being like, if you don't let me stick my huge dick in your ass, I'm going back to Rome.
And again, I go, okay. Like,
Yeah, I
oh.
really, with love, I say this with love and light. The only thing Anthony's good for is cunty quips.
Yeah.
I don't need like more than that.
You're like, gay, you do your thing.
I'm like, I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules.
Okay.
He and Stanford were always like sideshow gays. They were accessory gays, like a little beaded clutch. But like they were never meant to be promoted to like main character gays.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, JK, I'm going to stay.
Yeah. Then Seema swans in with her hot new man, and he has to go take a phone call.
Because they're shooting his movie in Egypt, and he's getting clearance from the Egyptian government to film at the Sphinx.
That's huge. And Seema's freaking out because she said, I love you too soon.
And she's like, if you're going to go, I don't do like long distance. I don't do this kind of thing. Like,
well, first she says to Carrie, she's like, girl, what do I do? And Carrie's like, who are you again? Oh, yeah. Just be chill and stop freaking out. You're pushing him away.
Smoke a cig.
Carrie actually is like kind of based for her reads on this, because I too would be like, he's not that into you. Like he's pulling away. But Carrie's like, you're being a fucking crazy bitch. Stop.
You realize, I realize, I feel like Carrie is stoned all the time. Her vibe is very
Che
like,
put
edibles.
Carrie on to edibles.
She's always kind of navigating through a body high because she's so chill. Carrie is so chill, more chill than she ever was in the original. And I guess that just comes with time and
death
and being a widow,
and being honestly having like $100 million.
Yeah,
I think would make me pretty chill.
I think before she was just like always like scrapping to get by and like had like a shoe addiction and
She
like,
couldn't pay her bills.
She didn't pay her bills.
Imagine her credit card interest.
Big paid it off.
Yeah, so she has nothing to stress about now.
I think it's just like this
She's
shows
a new townhome in Nolans.
in the French Quarter. But she is truly like, this is, I look at her and I'm like, oh, this is what it's like to just be like really wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
You just
it's
like,
a true no worries.
you don't have to worry. And she's hot, and she's also on drugs.
It's a bit, yeah.
She's on an edible, riding a high.
She's like on a 5 milligram baseline. So then
they sit down.
Yeah, Anthony and Sebastian go into the closet and are having their little serious talk. And Lizette pops out of the bathroom. I was like, she also needs to be carted off to the insane asylum. Because, oh my God, can you believe this closet? She left her bras. And like,
she's like, do you think I can wear these? Weird.
Like,
you're a freak.
You're so bizarre. You make me so uncomfortable.
Why are you doing this?
Why are you here?
You're getting this place for free.
Can she afford, like, how is she affording anything?
The jewelry line was in the cut.
Mm-hmm. So then Sebastian says, this is not about your ass walls. This is about emotional walls. And then Anthony's like, you're so right.
You're so right. Come fuck my hole.
Yeah.
And then they all sit down at the dinner and Carrie's, and I'm watching it, I'm going, is this the first time they're all acting together?
This is ensemble. They were like, we're gonna really gun for like a Screen Actors Guild ensemble nomination in this moment.
No, I'm saying, is this the first time they've all been in the same room?
All these people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Including like
Lizette.
And
that
the
guy,
podcast, Bobby Lee,
he's there.
and his wife, Storm,
who made like a flop dress.
Oh yeah, I would not want to see her again.
No.
If we had that thing go
For the
down
Met Ball.
and she just flopped so hard,
Yeah.
and I teed her up for like the win of a lifetime, I would be like, I'm so sorry, but you're not invited to my Michelin dinner. You're not like a part of this apartment.
So stoned.
She's
like,
this is Galaxy Brainstone, who's like, I'll just like invite them. You know when you're like,
really?
why not? Yeah, you're like, I want them there. And you're like, I'm gonna extend the invite. Why not?
I'll do it.
So Carrie gets up and she's like,
let's all go around the room.
we need to now. Also, that like this was a scene that I could have lived my whole life without ever seeing and been totally fine with. This told me they devoted like pages of real
Hours.
estate to being like, and then we're gonna have every character not just like 2 or 3 like quippy things. We're gonna have every single character in the show. I would say 80% that the audience has no investment in. There's no reason to care about them, but we are going to give them the chance to say one word that represents the thing that they really want to let go of. No one asked for that.
No, but you're right. It's not like I would think they would just do like Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte.
Or like Carrie's like, I'll start, and then someone says like blah blah blah, and then someone goes like blah, and then someone goes no blah, and then like you move on with the scene.
Blah, also blah. That's my blah too. And it just goes and goes and goes until the end.
It's literally never. It's like a 5-minute long.
Yeah, it was really strange.
It was so bizarre.
Very weird, very weirdly acted. The whole thing was. I did right though.
Nya's acting insane again at dinner.
She's acting.
The chef comes around. He's like, here's some spoons filled with mush. Drink one, then drink this, then taste this. And she's like, do you mean I let it explode in my mouth? I was like, ma'am, you're at a dinner right now in front of a lot of people.
You just got accepted into the American Law Institute.
I know. Have a shred of decorum. Just keep
it. A little.
Just tamp it down for a second.
Yeah,
you don't know a lot of these people. A lot of these people, maybe she is just really competent. Like once you get to that level in your career, you will just be like, it's exploding in my mouth in a dinner
mush. Yeah.
of 16 people, that many of whom you've never met.
I can't really say what else happens and that's at this dinner moment. Everyone just kind of like eventually leaves.
Seema goes into the hall to scream at her boyfriend.
And he's like, look, I need to do this, but I love you and I'm committed to you. So just give me 5 months to shoot this Sphinx and then I'll be back, baby.
And she's like, okay.
She's like,
and I
cool.
guess like when you're in your 50s / early 60s, it's like, what's 5 months?
Well, no, again, this is rich person. Poor people like us live.
I'm not poor.
No, I'm kidding. I'm talking about like like normal people.
Normal middle class folks.
We live for the day to day. We live for like you know what I mean?
living in the past.
I'm not even thinking. The past.
I'm living in the past where I'm like 5 months. My God.
Time for rich people is like it's
another
second. It's like 5 months is.
I like this
second.
Also, it's nice to like cement something and then be like, now go to Egypt and like do your little work thing and I'll come visit you. And like he tells her to chill and then like we're like, okay, these two are gonna be together.
Yeah.
Then
Charlotte and Miranda go, okay. Wow, this was a great time in this apartment. Bye.
Oh yeah, LTW's feeling like guilty.
She's there. I totally forgot about LTW.
She's feeling guilty about having a miscarriage because that's what she wanted. And I'm like, bitch, don't be guilty. Just say thank you to the heavens above. Nature did its thing. You did not want this
Gaia
kid.
did not want you to have this kid.
No, it was never meant to be.
You need to finish your documentary.
I know. And please tell someone what it's about.
Never.
Just a 1-paragraph description or like even a teaser, a 30-second teaser. I wish that she'd just, instead of going around the room one by one, LTW could have been like, I want to show you guys my 30-second teaser for my project. Yeah. And then we could have known more. But that's neither here nor there. And then, Charlotte and Miranda are like, wow.
Oh, Miranda gets
the phone call of a lifetime.
She goes, doo, doo, because it's like you hear the European ring back. Doo, doo. She goes, hello. And she goes, hello, Miranda. This is the chic lesbian who works down at the UN. She's like, I need you to come in at once. No, actually, that's not her. The human rights lady is like, hey, my kid's being a little fucker. Can you stand in for me and go be the point person for this BBC interview and stand in for me?
And Miranda's like, don't mind if I do. And she is actually like finally serving a look
Yeah, and she goes,
dressed
girls,
head to toe with a statement earring.
she goes, girls and Shay, I have to go. I have to be, I'm required at the BBC. And they're like, great, go do it. And then she meets the like UN lesbian there, and they are clearly going to have a relationship.
I'm into their relationship.
Me too.
I
It's
see
like-
them together.
Me too.
Chablis can terrorize her, but I feel like she'll be able to give it right back.
I think Chablis will chill. I think she'll temper a little.
You think Chablis will ever have a drink again?
I thought there was gonna be a moment in that last montage where she's at the bar, like just picking the girls when they're both. I thought there was gonna be a moment where you see her drinking a little rouge.
I'd
And I
like
was
to. I'd like her to get a little sauced.
She could.
I think she could have a light relapse moment. I also don't think that she's like an alcoholic.
No, I don't either. I think she was a problem drinker, and I think she was a conditional alcoholic, which is like someone that was drinking because of a like cataclysmic shift in society.
She was unhappy with her life.
Yeah.
And sometimes you drink when that happens. But
But
her little backpack full of bottles was extreme alcoholism.
Yeah, that was a
vibes.
cry for help. I think you can, but I don't think she's like a true in her bones alcoholic. I've never
No.
seen Miranda, like the old Miranda, like never.
I think she could just do the Sheena plan, which is like get a little buzz. You don't have to get wasted.
But she slays the BBC interview, and they're like, "Can you tell us about human rights?" And she goes, "Yes. Well, we're watching very closely." And then that's the interview, and she's wearing like a really bold lip.
That was cool. That
And
was
then-
also like, that's a thing. Don't worry about it. That I'm totally fine with. The less is more.
And then Carrie, everyone leaves, and Carrie's like, "Oh, well, now the only thing left to do is move."
And then suddenly there's a pebble at the window.
Drink. She hears clang, clang, clang on the trolley, and then it's Aidan outside, like the old times.
Old Slender Man himself.
He's back from Norfolk.
He decided to swoop in, and she's like, "What are you doing here? I thought you'd never come here. You set a line in the sand and you wouldn't cross it, but now you're here. What's up?" And I was like, this is going to be bad. And he's like, "Come sit down." And basically he says that his son, Wyatt, was on psilocybin. He had
Magic mushrooms.
psilocybin in his system, Carrie.
He was on drugs and drinking, and basically like tried to sue.
Do you think he
I think it was a cry for help. I think it was like a act of self-destruction, hoping to get attention from his parents, which is like
been there?
just a cry for help in general. But I felt like he was just like didn't really know what he was doing and just wanted attention and wanted his dad to be staying put because he has an unhealthy obsession with his dad.
Well, now he's getting what he wants.
He got what he wants. Aiden's like, "Look, my son is 14 and he needs to be like monitored for the next 5 years because if we let him out in the world now, he's going to
go ape shit.
go ape shit and like people are at risk. So I have to be at home and make sure that he's like."
He goes, "My wife, she's always flying here, flying there, going to the carpet trade show and fabric shopping."
Yeah, what about her? She doesn't have to give up her
I
life.
was like, she has a great life.
He's like, "So I have to stay in Virginia. I can't come up here ever again."
And Carrie was like, "Okay, well then I guess I'll like just come and visit you in Virginia." And he's like,
He's like, whoa. Wyatt hates you.
I don't think so.
He goes, "No, Carrie."
He's like, "Wyatt's gonna kill you in your sleep if you come."
He's like,
stay
"He's
at
gonna
my-
smother you with a pillow."
He's gonna kill you, then
And
he's gonna kill me, then he's gonna kill his brothers, then he's gonna drive my truck over to his mom's house and kill her. So that's not gonna work out for me.
And then after all said and done, he's gonna drive up here and kill your cat.
Yeah. And then
So-
he's going to blow up your apartment. And do you really want that kind of blood on your hands?
She goes, "He's gonna come all the way down to New Orleans," and he's like, "Yes, he
goes,
will."
He loves nothing more than the French Quarter.
And she goes, "So I think we need to put this on pause." And she goes, "Well, for how long?" And he goes, "For 5 years until he's 20 or 19." I was like, "What?"
When he was like, "My other son's 17, the other one's 20. I was like, yeah, they're old now. They don't need you around.
He's like, "But I have to be there for Wyatt." And he's like, "So I'm gonna need you to lay off me and not talk to me for 5 years, and I'm gonna go sleep with other people and date
I'm going to get my dick wet in Virginia."
in Virginia, and you can wait around for me, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles in 5 years." I
That
was like,
is
this
what
a
he
cop
said,
out.
right?
This is a cop out. He doesn't want to be with her anymore. Aidan got what he wanted. He wanted his, I think in some way it was like a weird, like, this is my theory.
Mm-hmm.
Aidan got some kind of fulfillment and closure out of winning Carrie back. and,
winning
like,
Carrie back and
putting
making her really understand how hurt he was.
and then like getting her to fall in love with him again, and like basically like make her like, this is the love of my life. I regret being with Big. Like I'm gonna like get this townhome. I'm a family woman now. I'm a stepmother. I want kids adjacent. Just to go
5
hello,
years. Goodbye.
And I think this was his like weird unconscious revenge on Carrie.
Yeah, I see that.
And I think now he's like,
He's a sick man.
he's just like a screwball.
What if he's
not
got
a bad
his
guy.
wife? What if he got his wife in on it? 'Cause she was kind of in on it. What if Wyatt didn't even have this thing happen?
I do think that this is all real, but I just feel like Aidan is just kind of like, at the end of the day, Aidan's like kind of a messy, like,
He's a messy queen.
he's just like a messy straight guy who's like kind of like cool and like makes furniture, but he's a fuckboy.
He's emotional.
He's an emotional fuckboy.
Yeah.
And like he's not gonna give Carrie what she wants secretly.
No.
Low key, there's a reason why they weren't together.
Yeah.
They're not good for each other. And I think Carrie is gonna realize that. So Carrie's like, all right, I'll wait for 5 years.
She's like, bye now.
Bye.
And he's like, bye. And I was like,
can we have one last fuck before you go?
he's like, sure.
He's
I'll
like,
dick
sure.
you down.
And then she waves him from the window and he heads on back to Norfolk on the Amtrak. And then she'll never see his ass again.
No.
Thank God. I'm over
It's
it.
good. She
Let's
upgraded.
venture out of the bubble.
It's
little.
also really good that she got this apartment and that she's not living in like a tiny bed with yellow shelves above her.
Yeah, she's moving to the French Quarter. She's good. Aidan, she needs to venture a little out. Be creative. The old Carrie was dating every episode. Let's get back to that. I want to see Carrie going on dates every episode.
I
She
think that
doesn't
she
need to-
can find love again.
I know, but I don't need her to immediately find love and like shack up immediately. I need her to like just be dating around.
But remember, like I liked the tech guy episode where she like thought that bicycle man was maybe something special, and then he turned out that felt
Old City.
old Sex in the City
And he was in a relationship with his business
partner. Yeah,
That was great. And that was like, I was like craving her voiceover. And that's when I realized he already had a relationship with his business partner. You know, like that. I want that, Carrie. I don't need her to be like monog immediately. Maybe at the end of the season, she can like finally like find her guy. But like, let's
I'd like to see her break some hearts.
Let's tramp around.
You know who I'd like to see her circle back to? Remember that like alcoholic who started fucking her and got addicted to fucking her?
Mm-hmm.
That I think that she could revisit him.
I just watched that episode.
It's such a good one.
He's literally, they're standing outside the meeting I would go to in West Village.
She should go. Maybe she could find Bon Jovi again. I would love to get
No, he
him in the
sucks.
mix. I know, but I'm just thinking like they love revisiting cock so much
No,
on
I want
the show.
new. She should have a moment where she's dating Jacob Elordi.
She should date a really young guy.
And he's like exciting and like loves her.
Like a 30-year-old.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm talking like 25.
Okay.
Like Demi Moore, Ashton style. Speaking of Ashton, hot water.
Honey.
Guys,
Then Seema is like, come on, girl.
let's go to
You need to
Greece.
get away.
And she
Let's
goes,
go to
"But-"
Greece,
she
aka
goes-
Malibu.
She goes,
This was literally
I know.
Malibu.
She goes, oh, Seema, but I fucked up on our Hamptons summer plan. She goes, bitch, I'm not talking about the Hamptons. I'm talking about Paros.
Paros. And so then they go to Greece.
It's green screen Malibu.
It just is Malibu. Yeah. It's a cove in Malibu.
When they're like 5 years, 5 months, it's all the same. Let's
And
be
they're like, we're
whores.
rich. Yeah. Cheers, bitch.
I could have, if the show ended here, I'd be like, this is great. This is all Carrie needs.
I think that they were going to end it there. I don't think they thought it would come back.
Well, it's like so highly rated. Like so many people watch it.
Yeah, because it literally is them just like, I think that most people are watching it praying that it gives them some semblance of like old Sex in the City.
No.
And when it does, it like hooks you a little bit more. But then it is, as Brady Snell said, a train wreck that you just simply cannot tear your eyes away from.
But that's all I need is Samantha. Like, she's found her girl. And also when I was like, she's in Greece, that's just a stone's throw away from London.
Yeah. Can
Maybe-
she fly through Heathrow on the way back?
And Samantha goes, honey, I just left.
I would love just a season of her and Samantha like Catch Me If You Can,
know.
where where they're just trying to like link up, but they never seem to get it. I think we could have some of Samantha's
London
hijinks in London town.
I think it's gonna happen. She doesn't have to film with them. She can just like update Carrie regularly.
Yeah.
But it got me to thinking about the scene at the end of the season 2 or 3, I think 2, when Samantha has the barbecue for the sex workers, and that was originally where the show was supposed to end. Did you know that?
No.
When they're all just on the roof, like all single and just like
That
vibing.
felt fun. And
Yeah.
that's right before MPK came in.
I guess so. But that was going to be the original ending, I think, because they didn't know the series was going to get picked up again. And I was like, that was a perfect ending. Anyway.
What a perfect show. What an abomination. What a true
least we got
abomination
at
of
least we got a little
American
Samantha.
television. At least we got Hello Goodbye finally, but my God.
But it's still serving something.
I mean, something's happening.
We're talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's do a shout out to our cult girlies.
Let's do it. Danielle McMillan. Lady Swamp, which gives no fucks.
Lady Swamp gives no fucks.
Malzatov. Mary. Maisie McKinney. Mike Earhart. Sharon Baum, realtor. Sharon Baum, realtor, is making moves.
She's Samantha.
Mm-hmm. Courtney Kesselman. Carrie Whitmer. Owsley. Mariah Kay. Kathy West. Rochelle Martino. Kit Moore. Nick Sedaris. Emily. Kim Lucas. Jeffrey Pratama. Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.